What is up, everybody? My name is Nick Green.
And I am Cannon Gates.
And you are listening to Grounded in Greenville on WZMB 91.3 FM Greenville. Earlier, we talked a little bit about the women's basketball, talked about some of the accomplishments Karina Gordon has had, being the freshman AAC American Player of the Week. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit about the men's basketball team because they've been playing solid, too, having a game last night against Temple, winning that one. Cannon, let's go ahead and let me hear your thoughts. What do you think about the men's basketball team right now?
Well, the men's basketball team, especially with these last two wins, Temple and a close win over Tulsa over the weekend, I think they have started to really come on. You know, had a tough loss to Florida Atlantic. They were really in it the whole way. Florida Atlantic, I think, finished on a 14-1 run. But, you know, Florida Atlantic's a top 20 team in the country. So I'm not too ashamed there in the Pirate performance, especially Florida Atlantic is easily the favorite to win the American.
Right.
Them and Memphis, top two.
I mean, Florida Atlantic made the Final Four last year.
Exactly. So, like, Florida Atlantic, great team. In fact, we were able to stay with them for, I guess 37 minutes probably.
Yeah. I mean, we were in that the entire game until the very last, 3 minutes of the game, I'd say.
Exactly.
And it was just one of those where I was watching that game. I got very, very upset watching that game. I had to quit watching it because I remember watching that downstairs with my dad. And, I mean, we're in it. They go up. I think it was like a 5-point game. And then we just went down the court and shot like a careless three-pointer that we did not need to shoot. It seemed like we were forcing it. And then it was just all FAU. I mean, you said it was a 17-1 run. I mean, it was all FAU after that. And it just – every basket they made just got me more and more upset.
And then we'll just do some player stats right now. We have 3 guys averaging 10 points, 1 guy just below it. R.J. Felton at 16.6, Brandon Johnson at 14.9, Ezra Assar at 13.6, and then Bobby Pedford right below them at 9.3. I mean, those have been our top 4 guys. Especially
easily.
With the injuries that's happened. Cam Hayes is just now coming on. He's still trying to get back into form. You know, he's only played 6 games for the Pirates. Jaden Walker has had some injuries, some foul trouble, stuff like that. I think he'll start to get back more into it as the season continues.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bobby Pettiford's averaging leading assists for us at 3.9. No one really coming close to that. Everyone around 1 to 2 mark. And then rebounds, Brandon Johnson leading the team at 9.2. Ezra Assar at 5.4. And R.J. Felton, small guy, 6.5 rebounds, our starting shooting guard. He is second on the team in rebounds. Of course, Assar has to deal with foul trouble sometimes as he is pretty much our primary big man. So he's only averaged about 27 minutes per game. R.J. Felton, 33. Brandon Johnson, 33 as well. So, of course, those guys have more of a chance to get more rebounds, get more shots up. Because I think if Assar could cut down the foul trouble, he could be averaging 20 points a game.
Honestly, if we can cut down the foul trouble, I think this team in general is just so – I mean, I've said it before. I've never said it on air, but I've said it before to all my buddies when I talk about our basketball team. You can put – this basketball team against anybody, we're going to give you a game. We're going to give you a game. I'm fully confident if you put this basketball team against any team right now, we're going to put up a fight. Now, we might not win that game, but we'll put up a fight and make you earn that win.
I mean, think about it. Our 2 games against Power 5 opponents, we lost by 5 to Florida and 6 to South Carolina.
I mean, in both of those games, we were in it until the very final minute. I mean, we put up a fight against FAU when we played them. Now, we'll put up a fight against all these really good teams, and then we'll lose some careless games like East Tennessee.
State.
That one was – I don't have an excuse
I think
for that.
R.J. Felton did not play amazing in that game. I mean, they beat us. And, of course, defense. East Tennessee State scored 86 on us, and they were 8-5 at the time.
Yes.
You know, that type of thing. R.J. Felton was 1 for 9 from 3. Brandon Johnson was 3 for 11 from 3.
Yeah.
So, those type of things we just can't really have happen, especially in conference play now.
Absolutely.
We need these games against these good teams. SMU, I think, was picked 3rd in the preseason conference behind Florida Atlantic and Memphis, of course. And, I mean, they're 10-5 this year. That's a solid team. They beat some quality opponents, plus they've had very close games. Barely lost to Wisconsin, who's been having a good year.
Yeah.
Beat West Virginia by 12, who is not having the best year, but at the time especially, they've started to come on ever since that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think this could be if we can win this game, that's like a wow.
Oh, absolutely.
We might be something.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a very good chance that we can. And then
we got the game at home. We got that going for us. SMU has to come to Greenville. And I say, Minchie's is going to be very loud for this game because, if you know, this is a very big conference game for us right now. And if we have a chance to compete in this conference, which I think we do, I think we have a solid chance of competing in this conference. If we want to prove that, it starts with SMU this week. Technically, it started a few games ago when we played FAU, but this is our first. This is the one that we got to win against some of these I'd say mid to higher tier opponents. Because
Exactly.
I say SMU, they're on the up end, but they're not Florida Atlantic. They're not Memphis. SMU's kind of where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to prove we're the best.
Third, fourth, fifth type of teams, maybe six, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a good team. Like I said, they're going to the ACC next year. Of course, we won't have to face them after this, but that is still a very good team. They can do a lot of stuff. I think that there's a very good chance so we can win this game. And like Nick said, this is pretty much in a way like this is the game that's going to decide a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Especially in the American, because like we said, the 3, 4, 5, 6 teams, we are in that mix. SMU's in that mix. It's going to depend. This game will determine a lot at the playoffs or the tournament seeding at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And like I said, this team can do a lot of stuff on the court. RJ Felton, when he is on, he is probably a top 20 yard,
easily
top 20 shooting guard in the country.
Easily.
When he is on, when he's hitting his shots, when he's getting to the basket, that is a very good player. I think there's a lot of things that can happen if we have guys on like him. Whenever Brandon Johnson's hitting his shots, Bobby Pettiford making passes, Ezra Sarr getting down and dirty down the post.
Yep.
We are one of the best teams in the conference.
Could
and
not
I think
agree
we
more.
can do a lot of stuff. I don't think we'll be 1-2 in the American All. I think it'll be Florida Atlantic and Memphis.
Oh,
but if
sure.
we're the 3, we can do a lot of stuff and get maybe to the championship. And if we can at least maybe we're the 3 seed in the in the tournament. You have the top 4 seeds in the final 2 games. If we can upset the number 2 seed, that could just send us to the tournament by itself.
I say all we really have to do is we have to win the American.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Say we might not finish ranked 1 and 2 in the American when it comes to like conference record overall, but if we can win the American tournament, I mean, I think that pretty much solidifies us a March Madness run. Right
Exactly.
there. And once again goes back to my first point I made. If we can make the tournament, watch out.
Exactly.
I'm not saying we're going to upset some of these bigger teams, but I promise you, we're going to scare them a little bit.
Exactly. If they put us in a 10-7 game against maybe a high mid-major team or a lower-tier Big Ten team, that team is going to be like scared. We're not a team, especially if, like we're saying, if we can get to that spot and we can get to that maybe the 10 seed, maybe the 9 seed.
Maybe, yeah.
They are going to be a little bit scared. They're like, wow, this team, they're on a run, especially if we can win the tournament, we'll have won 3 or 4 games to win the tournament, something like that.
And more than likely, we would have had to knock out Florida Atlantic or Memphis at that point.
Especially if we beat Florida Atlantic, teams are going to be like, dang, they beat Florida Atlantic? Who is in late season form? Like, wow.
Like, that's going to be a quality win that will really help boost us, help boost our confidence, and boost just overall how the NCAA looks at us.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's about all the time we have for you guys today.
Nate, before you finish, I want to say one thing.
Yes.
Not about basketball. I just want to say I've been seeing recently for the football team. Of course, we got Caden Hauser from Michigan State transfer quarterback. I've seen we are the favorite to land Missouri backup quarterback Jake Garcia.
Are we now?
I've seen we are the favorite.
I saw a little bit about
now,
this.
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
It's set in stone, nothing like that. But that's going to be a quarterback battle because both of these guys were backups at very good. Well, Michigan State, not the best team this year, but Missouri, top 15 team in the country, one of the better SEC schools.
Yes.
When we get their backup quarterback, it's going to be cool to see. It's going to be cool to see a good quarterback battle.
Another person I'd throw in the mix, I mean, Cole Hodge, too.
Yeah,
we just got him. He was a high school quarterback at
Kentucky, I believe.
Kentucky, yeah. I mean, he's going to be in the mix, too.
And we still have Raheem Jeter.
Yes.
Exactly.
Raheem Jeter, I mean, we redshirted him last year. I mean, I think this is just, this is going to be a really good quarterback room.
And like I said, if we don't have at least, I told Nick this, told other people this, if we don't win at least 8 games, wow. Come on. How do you not win at least 8 games?
If we don't win 8 games, I think Mike Houston's time in ECU is done. I think that's it.
We have a soft schedule. We're getting in these coaches, that type of thing. We're really our hardest game, non-conference is App.
Yeah.
And, App's a solid team. They finished strongly, but we scored 28 points against them with a very below average offense.
Granted, two of those touchdowns were defensive touchdowns.
Exactly, I know, but still.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Even
there.
14 points.
I understand. Now, granted, the time we played App State, that was beginning season form.
Exactly.
They did pick it up at the end. They made the Sun Belt Championship. I got to give App State credit where credit's due here.
You're right.
The time we played them was not the same App State as they finished, and we got to respect that. But I agree with you. I think we should have the talent this year to get up about 8 wins, and if we don't, unfortunately, I think Mike Houston's time here is done. I think that's it.
Now, of course, me and Nick will talk more about this as it gets March.
Absolutely.
Whenever basketball season ends, around the middle of baseball season, we'll be talking a lot more about ECU
You'll hear
football.
a lot more about ECU football and what we think, what we're to expect.
Exactly.
But as of right now, our time on the air is done. Thank you guys so much for listening to Grounded in Greenville. One more time, my name is Nick.
And I am Cannon Gates.
And we will catch you guys next time. Peace out. Go Pirates.